The out of body experience is not like the, oh, I'm coming, daddy. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Uloma. I make lifestyle straight talking videos and pretty much anything that interests me. So let's dive right into the topic. Guys, we're going to be talking about a very essential topic. I think this topic most of the time is just maybe spoken about at the surface. It's something that I've been doing for a while. It's like a mini small project that I just embarked on, and I've been doing a lot of research on the female orgasm in love. Now, what I found was really mind-blowing. When I started the research, I was looking at dopamine, activities to do to boost dopamine, and I found quite a lot. I found that the female orgasm, the dopamine released is the same or about the same as the dopamine released when a woman is in love, which made me go into the rabbit hole. Like, I just went on to do some research, and I found out that it's actually true. But the most important thing is that the orgasm of a woman doesn't start from sexual acts on its own. It's like a process. I mean, I feel this is common knowledge. Well, if it is, fine, but this is my finding. So I found out that there are different stages. I looked at the manuscript of Masters and Johnson, and it was very interesting. So I want to talk about it now. In case you don't know, in case you are maybe a very young adult coming across my video for the very first time, let's define the meaning of orgasm. Orgasm is like when you engage in sexual activity, there is a peak to it, and there is a release of juices. Well, the release itself is called orgasm. Just like a man finishes or ejaculates, that is orgasm. For a woman, is the same thing. Sometimes full fluid can be expelled, sometimes not, but it's just getting to a particular peak and quote unquote exploding. That's how I'm going to explain it in the layman language. If you want more explanation, you can go read up on it. I mean, you can get a definition online. So when I talk about the female orgasm, there's so many things I found. I found that the orgasm for a woman doesn't really begin in the bedroom. And it's tied to a lot of things which I'm going to talk about right now. Now, most women in most cultures have been taught to perform femininity. They are taught how to be women from other women, not taking into consideration that womanhood is uniquely different to the individual. Now, we've taught with it, like in my culture, they've taught us that we have to perform by adorning ourselves, making ourselves look beautiful, approachable. There are different acts in bed, like rolling your waist, pulsating your vagina, several things just to please the man. And when you're performing, you are in performance mode. Essentially, you're not for yourself, you're not looking at the pleasure for yourself. All you're looking after is the pleasure of the man, which for me, I've lived that life of performance, and I know the toll it takes on sexual activity, especially when it pertains the centering of a woman's pleasure. So I find that this performance in itself is very detrimental to the woman's pleasure, because then what time do you have to focus on yourself? If you are approaching sexual intercourse from a place of performance, from a place of trapping, keeping, it doesn't really last long, because it doesn't really last long because it's not from your being, is not innate. So what he's loving or what he's liking about you is your performance, and there are times in your life that you will no longer want to perform, which I see is one of the major reasons why marriages break. People come together pretending to be what they are not, like performing, I mean, not really pretense, but performance to be what society thinks is the version of womanhood, and this is greatly skewed. Now, for a woman, if you do not center your own pleasure, then sorry, you're not gonna get an orgasm. Now, there are three types of orgasm. You have orgasm from clitoral stimulation, when you touch yourself with those toys. Those feel good, but the dopamine level released is very, very much lower than the dopamine, sorry, that will be released during, penile ejaculation. And the third one is real ejaculation, real orgasm, where you have the contortion, the out of body experience. It's not like the, I'm coming, daddy. No, that's performance, because we've seen that on porn. Most women, that's why 80%, 90% of women do not really know if they've had an orgasm. A lot of them know that they've not had an orgasm. It's because of the performance. We perform, we even fake coming because we want our partners to come. It's like something that is ingrained in our culture. And if you keep doing that, there's no way you're going to value sex. There's no way sex is going to be what it is meant to be, because sex is an out of body experience. I've been opportune to experience orgasms in my life, real ones. Another thing too is, aside performance, trust, because without trust, how will you let go? Because for you to have an orgasm, you have to be able to let go and trust that this partner is going to be in charge of you, because orgasm is not sexy, really. It's not. it's have you seen you bend in all sorts of ways, like your spirit will try to come out of your body? It's something that you have to experience to understand. So what we think it's an orgasm really is child's play compared to the real deal. It's quite sad that a woman's orgasm actually is not necessary for biological function. However, there are some studies that says that it boosts fertility, like, if a woman constantly orgasms, it's easier for her to get pregnant. I've seen some study like that, but I mean, with the rate at which women get pregnant and carry children, I don't think it's necessary for a woman to orgasm to have children, but I wish it was so. However, for a woman to love you, you must be able to give her orgasms, and the orgasm starts from outside. The way you treat her, how you love her, how safe she feels with you. Because with that safety, with that feeling of safety, the walls will be knocked up, the whole body will be open, and when she's open and she trusts you to let go and just totally sit back and enjoy, that's when the magic happens. Now, safety is unique to every woman. You cannot just go and read manuscripts online and say or listen to people that tell you how to please a woman, or no, you have to ask the woman, because a lot of people do, if they go do research, they go seek advice from their fellow men. So a woman's orgasm is greatly tied to her brain than to her body. Like, you have to romance the woman's brain, and you have to finesse her enough to think that she's safe with you. And trust me, the reason why your relationship ends after spending so much years is because how long are you gonna keep performing? The performance fades, and a lot of men or women go ahead to look at the idea in a partner based on what society told them, or based on the circumstances surrounding them. They do not allow themselves to naturally enmesh with a person. I mean, a lot of people argue that it's not practical, that if everyone wants that enmeshment and wants that genuine connection, then we're not gonna have babies, or people are not gonna fall in love. So the best thing is to fake it until we make it. But this is the detriment of it, because when you fake it, when you let external factors determine who you be with, or who you become vulnerable with, or who you share, that sexual magic with, the truth is you're shortchanging yourself, because at the end of the day, you might actually get what you want, but you still find yourself seeking for something out there because you're missing something. You haven't necessarily found it. That's why after so many years, you people just divorce or you go your separate way, relationship breaks up. But it takes time and it takes a lot of external things for a relationship based on the fact that I actually like this person. And when you like the person, you would do anything for that person. But now I'm focusing on the woman. A woman likes to feel safe. It's like that from the days of even in animal kingdom. Why do you think the alpha male, quote unquote, get most of the ladies? It's because he has resources, and with resources and the ability to protect, these women feel safe enough to be able to give the alpha male their lives. That's how it is. So when it comes to orgasm, there's a strong correlation with love, and a woman does not just get orgasm just like that. You have to finesse the brain, you have to finesse the mind, you have to finesse the body. And the number one thing actually that unlocks it is kindness, generosity, providing a safe space for that woman to let go, not saddling her with so much labor through childbirth or through domestic labor, not making her carrying all the mental responsibility, psychological, even sometimes physical responsibility. If you go and sit as a king and you just want her to serve and her and your children to serve you because you provide, you go bring the bacon, sorry, even if she orgasms for you, I tell you she's faking. There's a lot of things some women do not want you to know, because a lot of them depend on these men for survival. That's how most government and most societies are run. The male gets to be the head. That's why it's called the patriarchy. It's not called the patriarchy for no reason. So any woman who truly breaks away from the patriarchy and now centers herself is that woman that is going to begin to demand for enjoyment, that is going to be demand for good sex. Because whether you want to like it or not, for a woman, sex is a mental thing. Your mental preparedness for it has to be like top notch, except maybe you were traumatized or something is wrong with you psychologically, that you just go and lay and be open for anybody like that. A woman who is complete, self-aware, does not really let people touch her body, because to what end? Is it for the money? Make sure it's worth it before you open yourself to just anybody, because as a woman you are sacred, you are God on earth. It's through you that life comes to this world. Without you there is no us. Without you our species will die, because you are the one that carries and breathes life. Leave what the patriarchy tells you. They are just contributors, but you do all the work, and we know the woman does all the work from beginning to the end. Even after she gives birth, she's the one solely responsible for raising the next generation. So all this work always keeps you at a state of people taking from you. And if you are just in the state of giving, human beings are insatiable. You give until you give, and you have nothing else to give, and then you find yourself one day that you're exhausted, you're empty, and really you're just a shell of yourself. Then when you start trying to pick yourself together again, it now becomes a problem, because people you serve will be like, oh, she's abandoned us, she no longer has feelings for us, she no longer wants this family. But the truth is, at one point in your life, do you get to center yourself? So when you begin to center yourself as a woman, that's when you begin to have the life-changing orgasms you deserve. Now you begin to demand. Now you begin to say, do it this way, service me, worship me, make me feel like a queen, make me feel like I'm the only girl in the world. Then I will be able to completely surrender to you. A lot of relationships are going through a mess, especially people in my age group. I'm in my late 30s, so people in my age group, I can see that reality is now set deep into their skin, and they are seeing the flaws in their partner is because they did not choose these people rightly. They chose the people based on an idea, based on what they were supposed to do in the future. And at some point you get this idea, you get it, your dreams come true, and bam, there's no more spark. You begin to look for something to fulfill you. That's when the infidelity comes. That's when, the divorce starts. Because at some point, everyone will want to take that journey to know themselves and know who they are. And there is no space with the modern ideology, or with the ideology we have of marriage and monogamy. There's really no space for self-discovery. It's about duty and servitude. And with that as a mindset, how are you gonna get an orgasm? And some people say orgasm is not important. Orgasm is important because that's what binds you. That's the love, especially when it comes from the woman's perspective. It's for the love. So if you are making love to a woman and she hasn't come for you, and you haven't seen that disgusting contouring alien face and the body moving in places that you never imagined, sorry baby, I don't think you're doing the most important thing, which is to romance her brain and romance her mind and romance her body. So orgasm is very important, if not the most important thing for love. So be good to your women. Be good to your women. Be a good person. Do not listen to society standards or what is said for you. Listen to your heart. Listen to yourself. Because I've always told you, you know what is best for you. You know your best decision. You know what your heart craves. Because at the end of the day, you will think you're making progress, but trust me, you're going to destroy what you think you have built over the years. So that's number one key. That's how orgasm ties to all these things. If you're not making your woman orgasm, trust me, you will not experience what true love is. Alright, that's all for today. I'm gonna talk to you later. Bye. Bye bye. And